Engagements with neighboring countries, namely Ethiopia, Uganda, and Kenya, Sudan, Central African Republic, focus on advancing trade, investment, peace and security, economic and regional cooperation. A high-level delegation from the Democratic Republic of Congo also visited Juba to reaffirm bilateral ties and explore areas of mutual interest. Currently, the Honorable Deputy Minister is on a bilateral official visit to the Republic of Turkey, and the Honorable Minister has also had bilateral engagements with Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, and Qatar, among others. Additionally, the ministry represented South Sudan at the papal funeral and inauguration ceremonies in the Holy See and Italy, reflecting the country's engagements in global diplomacy and interfaith cooperation. The ministry is expecting visits from a number of heads of states, foreign ministers, and other officials from foreign countries. On the multilateral front, the ministry participated in the EU-AU ministerial meeting in Brussels, engaged in bilateral consultations during the Brazil-Africa dialogue in Brasilia, and represented South Sudan at the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development in Japan and the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation in China. These forums provided opportunities to strengthen partnerships in development and investment. South Sudan also took part in the London Conference on Sudan, reiterating its continued support for peace and stability in the region. At the regional level, the ministry hosted IGAD Executive Secretary for consultations on peace and regional integration, and a joint AU-IGAD delegation led by the chairperson of the African Union Commission visited Juba in May, reaffirming collective commitments to governance and peace building. High-level consultations with the African Union Commission in Addis Ababa focus on the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement. Furthermore, the ministry participated in the third Horn of Africa-China Conference on Peace and Development. The ministry also hosted the Secretary General of East African Community, the UNHCR High Commissioner, and delegations from the International Monetary Fund, the World Food Programme, and the International Conference on the Great Lakes region, among others. In pursuit of strategic partnerships, the ministry signed a cooperation framework agreement with the World Bank Group in August to support national reforms and development priorities. Further engagements with the International Monetary Fund and other financial institutions explored mechanisms to improve economic governance and mobilize sustainable financing. The ministry will be coordinating the participation of the government of the Republic of South Sudan in a number of multilateral events, including the 80th United Nations General Assembly taking place in New York this September, African Union upcoming events, the summit of the International Conference on the Great Lakes region in DRC this coming October, among others. Addressing border demarcation and delimitation challenges. In parallel with its diplomatic efforts, the ministry facilitated both internal and external consultations led by the National Border Committee to address the complex challenges surrounding border demarcation and delimitation. These consultations, held with stakeholders across South Sudan and with neighboring states, are vital to resolving long-standing border concerns, promoting understanding on international boundary matters, and contributing to regional peace and cooperation, and safeguarding South Sudan's national interests and territorial integrity. Diplomatic service reform. In line with the directives of His Excellency President General Salva Kiir Mayardit, the ministry has undertaken reforms within the diplomatic service. These include the strategic downsizing of diplomatic missions abroad to improve efficiency, align operations with South Sudan's core interests. Closing statement. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation remains committed to conducting a foreign policy that reflects South Sudan's national interests, anchored in peace, regional solidarity, development cooperation, and mutual respect on the global stage. We thank members of the media for their continued partnership and professionalism. Following this briefing, the Ministry welcomes questions and looks forward to continued engagement with the press in the spirit of mutual respect and informed dialogue.